Happy Friday, everyone. It is Friday, August 13th, and for a lot of our summer cohort, this is their last day. We've got some people who are going to continue to school, um, but let, oh, what is happening? Sorry, I could hear um, the YouTube recording. All right, let's see where everyone's at for our last day. Let's go into the testing board and work our way back.
We can see your desktop, Aubrey, your messages and
Yes.
stuff.
Oh, geez. Just so excited to get to Casual Friday. I shared the wrong thing. All right, gotta blur that out. All right, how is our change name petition doing?
Doing well. We, thanks to Catherine, got through our entire testing matrix. She did a lot of work, went through all the testing, and to anyone else who took a look at it as well, I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone. A few outstanding coding issues, I think, but the form itself is basically right at the doorstep of MVP, knocking on the door. Tiny few changes that still need to be made, but we're right there. So hopefully, however this gets picked up, it won't be too difficult to work through those last few changes, but I'll always be around if anyone needs to reach out and ask questions about why I did my spaghetti code the way I did. So
Awesome. So, and I know that you put those last few things in GitHub.
right, yeah, I made it.
It looks like just this checklist, some more of it could be checked off.
Right, yeah. I tried to update yesterday, but there's probably some things I missed, and I could go through and finish that up today.
Many things have happened since that time yesterday, I think, so no worries. And thank you to the testers who took the time to do that. That's really appreciated, especially this cut into the last few moments. So
Yeah.
awesome. Oh, awesome, Ryan. That's so exciting. Cheers to you.
Woo.
All right. How are we doing on the, nope, not that one, late docketing statement? We are in the testing board officially, Regis.
Yep. Finished up, put the finishing touches on the testing matrix this morning. This afternoon, I will try to make some testing scenarios just to have them in the bank. Went through the playground, finished cleaning some things up and pushed it to GitHub, which I realized I hadn't done in a minute, so that was good. Added some issues that I noticed along the way, just some housekeeping stuff. For the jury instruction similarity project, I finished up my notebook, making notes in my notebook, so I got to push that through to GitHub. So Good News Friday is Housekeeping Friday, which is a type of good news.
Fantastic. That's all very exciting. Also looks like some of your checklists, you can just check them off. I know that technically you have not gotten through this media review just because of how it works with the appeals court, so that makes sense that that one is unchecked. But fantastic. Thank you for making those last changes, and the testing scenarios looked good as you were working through them. So cheers to you, Regis. All right, I don't think anybody else on the testing board. I don't think so. All right, let's talk to our dev team. How about, where are we? Our appeals brief appendix, Catherine. How are you doing? And you've got some other projects you've been on.
It's going well. I didn't do much more of coding since last Tuesday. It was mostly just updating all of my thoughts and research I've done on the appendix, next steps that could probably be added and that are going to be needed, other, stuff like that. That's pretty much it. And then I've also reached out to a few people because I think the immigration court could also use that stay order. And I've reached out to some of my contacts. So I actually know some people in the immigration court that, like the chief clerk, who might be interested in something like that. Just FYI.
That's very cool. David, looked like you were going to say something about, was it this?
I was just gonna just remind everyone that Catherine started off on that form with Regis. So the fact that form is all the way along is really a success for both of them.
Yeah. Cheers to Catherine and Regis on the late docketing. Thank you for remembering that. It feels like so long ago. And a thought that I'm having now, this is stream of conscious, because the appendix has now been incorporated with what had its own card, which is the brief, we should probably combine those cards to make it clear that they are now one, and update that. So I will do that, Catherine, since you've gone above and beyond with the appendix and you've written down so many thoughts in GitHub. So cheers to you on all the work that you did here and on the late docketing and bringing stuff into the immigration court. So fantastic. All right. Anybody else in this column? No. Pre-trauma housing, Joelle, right? This is you. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good with it. I'm just working on getting everything updated to GitHub. Also, I meant to mention on the previous testing screen, there were 3 forms on there that I did a little bit of a plain language review on. So I'm also working on pushing those changes to GitHub as well.
Awesome. Fantastic. And Joelle, you're going to be hanging around next week, but cheers to you. Great job. Very exciting. Awesome. All right. Who else? Looking at my team. Sarah, where is your form?
Mine is right under buffer, but I'm about to move it. I've
Thank
made
you.
I've made all the changes from the subject matter expert. So I'm ready for plain language review. I could not for the life of me find the push to GitHub button again on the playground. I don't know if my brain is not working. I was so excited today to be like, yeah.
I think some people got disconnected from GitHub.
Okay, so
So you
I'll
might
just
need to
reconnect that.
reconnect your GitHub.
Okay, that's fine. I was so excited, and then I was like, But
Yeah.
So we're close, and I will continue to be here next week to push along perhaps the longest form it has ever taken anybody, but we're almost there.
That's okay. Your timetable's right here. Weren't you also you're working full time and doing classes right now?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah, we're
it's understandable.
we're doing it. I have the next week off, so let's go.
I hope that you enjoy your week off if it's working on this or getting some R&R. Sarah, cheers to you and all of the work that you've done. I've moved you into the plain language review to solidify that. That's awesome. So great work. And I know you had a setback. You had a whole new form that you'd had to convert to. So that
I
itself.
know. I feel like the journey between me and the request to choose somebody to be your authorized representative has been a winding one, but I'm committed to this form at this point. I'm getting it across the finish line one way or another.
Did you get the SME stuff that you needed?
Yep. I got everything I needed. I had between the 2 SMEs, so that is all set. I just need to reconnect GitHub, push it to GitHub, and then I'll reach out to you, Caroline, for the plain language review.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that you got what you needed.
Yep. I'm all.
Awesome. All right. Kadal and Shauna, how are you two doing?
We had a meeting with David and Aubrey this morning because when we went over things with Caroline, we were really confused with like what would be MVP and what would not be MVP. And so we're close to MVP.
Shauna, who did you say you met with this morning?
David and Aubrey.
David and Aubrey. Okay. So you guys never got the, I just want to be sure, where's the, no, it wasn't your complaint. No, it's the name thing that's waiting for the GLAD attorneys. Okay, never mind. Sorry. You had Kate as your SME. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, great. It looks like I remember, was this form one that you kind of picked up and redid and it was an old Trello card? All right, we should just make sure it has all the checklists to continue on added. So if I can help you with that as a good place to leave the card.
Just as a quick note on what Caroline said, should I like make a GitHub issue or leave a note on the Trello card or something that we're still waiting for like feedback from the GLAD.
Yeah, it should go somewhere.
Yeah.
It's probably a Trello card thing. 'Cause
Okay.
It's not a particular issue.
Yeah. And also, Ryan, if you want to put the names of those people on the Trello card, because we can try and chase them down. I think they are interested, but we just, some of these people you just have to keep at, and eventually they pay attention.
You're talking about
And there's a spot for SMEs in the description.
Okay. Caroline, since you were just unmuted, did you have anything that you wanted to share with the team? Any updates?
I don't think so. I think last week and this week have been crazy. So outside of, it's just like endless tragedy everywhere. So.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that
We can
is something for
commiserate
you.
at Casual
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. David, well, I'll move to you at the end. Bryce, how are you doing? You have anything to share?
I'm doing good. I had a call with Amanda this morning at Lanyap and got her, like, sort of was showing her how to use GitHub so she can accept some of the e-file changes that I made to the name change interview. That is in and good. We were testing live today, so that's good. And so I'm going to shoot a quick email to Jefferson Parish saying, it's up and it's live. Can you send a response to X transaction whenever, so we can get that tested? And I don't know if they'll be able to see it by today, but we'll hopefully be able to see it next week. And then there are a few other small changes that she wanted to make before we made it live. But other than once she does those, it's ready for us or for the Supreme Court. I don't remember. I know I think we've talked about this several times, and it goes out of my mind.
I think it depends on whether or not the Supreme Court is we need to re-engage with them to sort of see where they are with setting stuff up. But if they're ready, we can move stuff up. But independent of that, if they're going to do it right away, then we can just wait a second. But if not, then we can start once the other form is there, letting Jefferson Parish kick the tires because they wanted to train their clerks and make sure that they knew what things were going to look like when they came across. So we could give some access to, short of, sharing the URL out with the world, we can give the Jefferson Parish folks the URL to kick the tires.
To the test server, something on the test server.
Yeah, but something that could actually, unlike the test server, because we always had the test server send to us, something that could send to them, so they could.
Oh yeah, we actually don't think we have a distinction.
If
it's sending to the proxy server, it is sending to live because not everyone has the distinction.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah. Then dev would be testing would be the right place for that then actually.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. Cool. So that would be done. I'm this close to getting in a Tyler filing through all the way. There's still another half the amount of tables that we just have to go through and check everything to make sure that Tyler's okay with it. But there's one more field that I need to add before Tyler hopefully accepts this this filing, and then we'll have one all the way through. And then it's just head down a lot more to grind everything else up. Yeah,
that's it. Once you get this one through, that was the hard stuff, right? Everything else is in that, it was the main chunk and the filing. The other things are just additional information or small calls on the side.
Yeah, they're all just small, okay, if you pass this parameter, we'll make sure it's right. And yeah, that's it. So
that's very exciting. And cheers to you too, Bryce. Michelle, do you have anything to share?
Did some, I think it was somewhat helpful stress testing for the data stuff that was going on. At least told us where not to look, so that's useful. And have been working on improving the setup interview, at least for repo contributors. Just setting up files, and we did some testing with the download step, and as long as each file has a unique name, so like, doc1.pdf or whatever, a unique file name and extension, then it will download, even if it has a view button. It doesn't matter. It just picks the first one that appears and it is able to download that document. So we should be able to download stuff. So that's good. And onboarding someone to the testing framework who may be able to contribute a little bit. So we'll see how that goes too. All right. I think, can't remember anything else. Cool.
Yes, and thank you for that. When she said she did some stress testing, my understanding is that you ran through 400 interviews.
Yes.
So
400 for an interview, actually 550 times approximately. So yeah.
Joys of automation.
Yeah, it's exciting.
That sounds like Good News Friday, Michelle.
It is. That was fun in its own way. Yeah, it sounded
Cheers.
pretty fun.
That's very exciting.
Thanks.
Awesome. Quentin, did you have anything to share?
Yeah, so as Michelle kind of was hinting at, like on Tuesday when we came to this meeting, we were kind of unsure about the potential data leakage. And I think it was also connected to the same things people are having behavior with GitHub getting disconnected from their profile. And that was a clue that helped us figure out that maybe it had to do with our database and an automated update that helped us, that reset our database backwards in time. That was the cause of all the behavior. So I'm hoping we pinned that down. I don't think we've seen any recurrences of it. So I probably am going to say that's as good as we can get to saying we saw
We know at least 500 tests didn't show it.
Right, exactly. So that was the beginning of the week. And now I'm finishing up this form for Illinois, a fee waiver form. It's always amazing to me, like how many drafting errors you find once you start to automate something. So very interesting, like some holes in the form that, you only notice it's been in this committee, they've gone through the drafts, kept hearing, oh, it's almost ready, the form's almost ready, a new one's coming. So probably dozens of people looked at it, but once you start automating it, you see errors that no one catches when they're just thinking about it as a piece of language instead of how you actually execute it. So that's interesting, but that's pretty much it for me this week.
Coolio. Cheers to you, Quentin. Glad that we're running down that very great.
Those dogs in Quentin's background, I just have to ask, were they in your background, those dogs?
Yeah, there are. Those are my background. I'm outside, so I don't know what dog it is.
There's always lots of nature with Quentin's background. I like it. All right, David, did you have anything for the group?
Not much. I've just been updating stuff, getting ready for the new semester, finishing up some administrative stuff for grants and things, which I think are all going very well. So that's nice. But yeah, looking forward to seeing people in different contexts when a lot of us return to campus in 2 weeks. And so I look forward to seeing some of you. Don't be a stranger. That being said, I will not be in every day. So if you wanted to swing by and visit, coordinate beforehand. But yeah, I look forward to maybe meeting some of you at some point. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Will these stand-ups still happen virtually, or will they be?
These stand-ups will still happen virtually. So Tuesday and Friday stand-ups will happen, continue to happen virtually.
Do you also do Teaching Tuesday during the school year?
Something we need to think about.
Okay, great.
I think we probably will. And
didn't want to volunteer Quentin. So if he's
Fair.
good for it, then yes, we'll do it.
Cool.
Is there a physical lab for the Lit Lab at Suffolk? Like, is
There
there a
is.
physical place? Wow.
There's a physical space. It would not fit all of us. It's a very small space.
I've been thinking that the
Like a
past
small
year.
conference room.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
exactly right. It's a small conference room.
Cool.
Awesome. I have an update for Eleni that I forgot to share earlier. She's she's set up the testing for the 209A after lots of work with you, Caroline, I think Quentin has also given her feedback, so thank you. And she's going to take the time to actually run them next week, and that is not a short task. So cheers to Lenny on running the 209A. And the map that she made is really cool. So yes, Michelle.
You and I should talk about that because there might be some ways that we can take some of those paths, start with a base test, and then automate iterations with slight variations. So we should also talk about that.
Okay, that sounds exciting.
And then maybe she won't have to do all of them herself, just some
Let's
basic.
just remember, Aubrey does disappear at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Oh, okay.
Poof.
Well,
But
whoever, I don't know. We'll try and work
Well,
that
it
out
sounds like
with
Eleni is still around, so
Lenny's
we
gonna
can
be
still
back.
talk with
Eleni.
her.
Lenny's gonna be
So-
here, so you could go directly to Eleni. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
the
I'll
other thing to mention, which I could tell Lenny too, is the snapshot fast forward button. I don't know if anyone saw that.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
so
That's-
true.
That might help. We haven't really stress tested it, so I'm sure there are bugs in it, but it could be helpful.
okay, that sounds good. I'll message her to bring it up so that no one forgets.
So
Um,
Aubrey, you're poofing today. Are we
Lot-
gonna see you again? I
a
mean,
lot of this is the end of the summer for a lot of the students. Some will continue through next week. I'm coming back as a lit fellow, but
in September or
in
whenever
September.
school starts again.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So with that, this is our last stand up as of the large cohort.
Does David have any news? Did we hit
asked-
David?
He
Yeah.
did,
Oh,
he
okay,
told, he
sorry.
said,
I think he's-
Nature.
Um,
Okay.
We could save our speeches for Casual Friday.
Yes.
But awesome summer, everyone. That's a wrap. Cheers.